Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a pleasure to have with us Mr. Fernando Buendia, who is the Secretary of International Relations of the political movement Pachakutik New Country. He is a national from the Republic of Ecuador. Thank you very much. Please, the applause for the end, not now. I'm sorry, but that gentleman is not heard here in the cabin. Now, yes, we can hear him. Yes, we do. The Amazonic peoples, the ancestors along all the region, they use a powerful plant, the ayahuasca, to prepare a drink named Indiague and to carry on humanistic rites. This plant that grows naturally, it is a very that produces deep hallucination that can last even several days. The shamans say that through these rites, men experimental regressions that would take them back to their ancestors, and they guide them through the decisions that they must take. However, the use of these ritual practices, the several ancestral nationalities are far away from being sick people of the vice of drugs. All societies use several media to stimulate in order to carry on socializing rites or spiritual rites. And in the feasts, in the religious ceremonies, they use alcohol, they use coffee and caffeine, the theobroma cacao, that also has some chemical components that when drunk excessively could be considered as drugs. But with what we are dealing in this speech is that the frequent consumption of drugs, either hard drugs or soft drugs, and that have become an individual madness or social madness. The origin of this dramatic threat that threatens the young generations, we can find a human catastrophe even worse than the drug addiction itself, from which this is one of its symbols. We are dealing of the crisis of the Western capitalistic civilization. And it is that this Western so-called civilization supported and fundamented in the instrumental reason is looking for to be efficient, the maximization, the benefit, the maximum performance, and destroys the social tissue. It destroys the social links. the world of the capital in its most wild expression, as it is the new liberalism, the empire of the free market, ends with the social solidarity, destroys the human relations, and sentences the mankind to become an anonymous mass of consumers. We are just a number of an account, cold numbers of statistics. The wild capitalism, it is anti-natural and anti-human, because abandon solidarity even with our own nature. The 4/5 of mankind are condemned to live under the most extreme misery and poverty. This poverty is equally very much harmful. It erodes the social tissue as well. Decays our roots, the cultural roots that give support to uses and customs, to the values, the cultural values that are the basic element of cohesion, of union. Once these links are destroyed, eroded the familiar links, disappear the communitary relations, gone the interpersonal relationships, the human beings, especially the young ones, they search, talks, and how to stop this outrageous empty space, to look for new sensations as a challenge to the risk. This is the sickness that we actually suffer, the mankind as a whole. We call it drug addiction, but we can also call it obesity, and it has an opposite manifestation, which is anorexia. All our ancestor peoples, but in particular the example that I was mentioning, they possess a richness and value that unite our members and offers motivations for their routine life. When we say, as an example, that a person is resented, jarocho, we are talking about very strong motivations that provide a sense to his everyday feelings. Today is St. Valentine's Day, and the Society of America is celebrating with his friends, and in Paris probably an elder people is ending his day just by himself.